Hello everyone, my name is Shauna Karen. I am with the training department with Conservice, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to use the utility billing services and portions of our website and the resources that are available there. To get started, the first thing you'll need to do is go to www.conservice.com to open up our website. Once you're there, you'll simply click the Login button here on the upper right-hand corner to log in. From here, you'll enter your username and password. And our website will open up for you. So you can see that there are a number of tabs that, running along the top of the screen. The first is the Welcome tab, and this is the first place that you'll land. From here you can click this play button to play an introductory video for our site. This will introduce you to the navigation components as well as just general information about using the site. So that's a good place to start if you have someone new in your property that needs to learn a little bit more about our website. We're going to be talking about the Utility Billing tab today, but before we get too far into it, I do want to point out these quick links in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. The first is an icon that looks like an address card, and as you hover over that, you can see it's the Contact Us link. If you click on that, a window will open indicating who at Conservice you should contact for certain issues. So anything related to monthly utility billing or related to a resident, you're going to want to reach out and talk to Rory Mann in this case. He's the billing manager, and you'll see over here on the right hand side his phone, fax, and email address. The Synergy manager assigned to this property is Brian Olson. His email address is listed here. Synergy is anything that's related to utility invoices that have been generated for the property by a utility provider. Brian would be the point of contact for that. The account manager is Melissa Nielsen. She's the one that works primarily with the Capstone upper management folks on large issues. But if you're not able to reach the billing manager or the Synergy manager, she could be a point of contact for you as well. At the bottom, you'll see our customer service information. This is the information that we hope you'll share with your residents as they have questions about utility bills they may have received from us. We have a toll-free customer service number listed here, and over on the right you can see the extended business hours that we're open. This call center is actually hosted right here on our corporate headquarters, and the incoming calls are always answered by a real person and not a machine. And so you can rest assured that your residents will be able to speak with a utility expert who can answer their questions very quickly and efficiently. For Central Time, those hours are 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. If they call in other than those hours, they'll be prompted to leave a message or to call back when we're open. So again, we got to this window by clicking on this Contact Us icon. The next one over is an icon that looks like a home. This will help you with some custom navigation with this site. If you find that you're using one particular page in this site way more often than any other, the next time you're on that page, go ahead and click this home icon right here. What that will do is the next time you log into our website, you'll be taken directly to this page. So it just helps you get where you want to go a little bit quicker. The next icon over is the settings icon. From here you can change your username and password and make those changes as you need. I'm going to go back. This last icon I think is the most important one. It'll provide access to many training resources for you. So if you hover over this question mark icon, you can see it's the training link, and when you click on it, a window will open up. The first tab of that window will be a video help tutorial for this particular page. So as you can see, we're on the utility billing main page, and so when I clicked the question mark from that page, you can see I'm looking at about a 2.5-minute video that will serve as a tutorial for this particular page of our site. This is a great resource for you to find help for individual products and services right when you need them. The second tab of this window allows you to read an article with that very same information. So if you're not set up to watch a video or you'd just rather read it, you can click on that middle tab there and you can see the same information in an article format. The third tab over allows you to fill out a form with name, email, phone number for anyone at your property that you would like to have us contact and train. So if you have a new leasing assistant, you can fill out this form for them. We'll reach out to them and schedule an in-person training for them as needed. So again, we got to that training window by clicking on this question mark icon. It's going to give us customized training for the particular page that of the website that we're on. So that's a great resource for you. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're going to show you what's available on the Utility Billing tab of our site. When you click on the Utility Billing tab, the first page you'll be on is the main page. This is really a dashboard view for you to see just at a glance the general billing performance at your property. So you can see the property name and address over here on the upper left-hand side. If you want to, you can upload an image of your property to display in this area. Over here in the main area of the screen at the top, you can see the current billing status. So as your property is billed each month, as the billing manager progresses through that process, these steps will be populated with dates. So today is March 24th. We last mailed bills on the 15th. As April rolls around, these dates will repopulate with the various steps of that billing process. So you'll be able to see if your billing manager is in process for billing and how far into that process they are. This first graph over here just gives an indication of the total expense. Utility expense of the property is the dark colored area, and the light colored area just below it indicates the amount of that total expense we've billed to your residents. So you can see for water in April, the total water expense was just over $4,200, and we billed out just over $3,000 of that. So it'll just give you an indication of how much of the total expense we're billing out to your residents. Over here on the right-hand side, you'll see both a number of utility bills that we've sent out each month, as well as the percentage of penetration associated with that. And down here on the lower left, you'll see per month what the average bill amount is. So at this particular property in the month of February, if you averaged all of the residents' bills, it happened to come to $37.21. So it just gives you a good indication of whether utility expenses are trending up or down at your property. Again, over here on the left-hand side, you'll see a list of all the utilities that we're billing at this property. And if there's a common area deduction, that'll be listed here as well. What that refers to is the portion of the entire water expense that the property has agreed to pay up front. So we'll take the total water expense, 25% will be removed off the top, and then the remaining 75% will be divided up among the residents at the property according to the billing method that is assigned for the property. The next resource I'd like to show you is the residents page. So if you click residents, you'll move to that screen. I would imagine that you would have spent quite a bit of time on this particular page. There's a lot of information that could be helpful as you're helping your residents understand their utility billing. When you land on this page, the first thing you'll need to do is select which resident that you'd like to look at. So simply choose the name from the list. If you need to look at a resident who's moved out, you can simply turn this little triangle icon and you can see any residents listed in red are residents who've moved out. And when we're looking at their information, you can see there's a move out date listed there. I'm going to go ahead and change that back to a current resident. And here we can see the name, the resident ID, that's taken from the Capstone one-site system, the mailing address that we currently have on file for that resident. We also show that there are 3 occupants in that unit. If you'd like to see a bill that has been sent to that resident in the past, you can do that in this area of the screen. You would just see a list of all the bills that have been sent over time to that particular resident. If you click on the date, then the PDF image of that bill will open up and you can see an image of the actual bill that we sent to the resident in that month. So the information on this screen is actually pulled from your OneSite system on a daily basis. So anything that's listed in OneSite as residents move in and move out, we're going to pick up on that information and update our records to reflect what's currently in your OneSite system. So let's talk a minute about how final move-outs happen when you're dealing with Conservice and your residents who are moving out. The first thing that you're going to do when you find that a resident's moving out is go into your OneSite system and move the resident out there. One important thing to keep in mind is that you do need to leave the FAS open. What's going to happen is we will pick up on, because we monitor the OneSite information, we'll pick up on that move out date, and we will actually process that move out and generate a final bill and email that to you. But we need a little bit of time for that to happen. We generally will pick up that information overnight as well as in the middle of the day. So a good rule of thumb is to wait about a day for Conservice to process that move out for you. Once we do that, we'll send you an email with that final bill, and at that same time you'll know that we have pushed those final move out charges into your OneSite system. So then you can go into OneSite, look at the residence ledger, confirm that those move out charges are there, and at that point then you can close the FAS. If you close that FAS before we've been able to process that move out and send that information to you, it's going to cause some problems and make things a little bit more difficult to deal with. So just keep in mind that you're going to want to keep that FAS open until we fully process that move out and send that information your way. If you need to generate a final bill immediately and you do not have the time to allow us to process that for you, you can do that from this page of our website. You would go to Get Final Bill. You would choose a move out date from the date picker here. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it as estimate only, just because I don't really want to move this resident out. But if you were ready to move the resident out, you would change the selection to move out. Then you'll click Submit and just wait for a moment for that final bill to be generated. So here you can see, in this case, a final bill estimate, but if you were actually moving the resident out, you would see the final bill. You can see that the bill will indicate what the final utility charges will be for the resident and what that total amount due is. Please note that the resident hasn't actually been moved out until you click the Download This Bill and Close Account. And once you do that, our records will close that resident out. Because you are processing this final bill manually, you will need to take the information from this final bill and enter it into the OneSite system. So again, if it's much easier if you can give us a little bit of time to process that move out for you. Go to your OneSite system, move the resident out, wait about a day, and then you'll get that final email from us with the final bill as well as the charges updating in OneSite automatically. If you have any questions about move outs, or maybe you've performed a move out and things aren't looking quite right, keep in mind that this would be a time that you'd want to chat with your billing manager. So if you again go to this Contact Us icon, you can see who that billing manager is and reach out to him or her for assistance with that. Okay, a couple other things I'll show you. We do maintain a ledger for the residents down here on the bottom of this particular page. These amounts you could find also in your OneSite system, but these are the line items that are showing up on the utility bills that we're sending to your residents. If you're looking for a specific resident by name, or you don't want to scroll and pull them from the list, you can always come over here to this window and start typing either the unit number or a portion of the name, and you'll be able to select the resident from the list. Let's take a moment to look in a little more detail at the utility bills that we're sending out to your residents every month. Again, you can see an example of one of those bills by simply choosing a resident from the list and then clicking on a date over here on the right hand side. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this latest bill that we've sent to this resident. Most of the bills will look just like this. You can see in the upper right hand corner we list the web address where a resident can go to make a payment. At the top, we also list our customer service number as well as the leasing office number, and we indicate what types of issues the resident should contact for those types of things. So if there's a problem, there's a water leak, we want them to call you directly because you'll be able to help them quicker than we can with that. So over here on the upper right hand corner, the resident will see their account number, the total charges due, the due date, and the statement issue date. In the middle up here, we have their name, their service address, their account number, and their web PIN. So if the resident goes to residenttools.com to log in and make a payment, the account number will be their username for the site, and the web PIN will be their password for the site. The first section of the line items will be the charges that have come through with the rent and other leasing charges. We are pulling this information directly from your OneSite system, and so any of those charges we'll just pull across and pass them through to the resident. Under current utility charges will be the charges that we've calculated and generated for each resident. And so we see in this case there's a water-based charge, a pest control fee, sewer-based, trash, and water charge. So we see the service period listed for each of those utilities, as well as the individual amounts. We show the current charges due for the utilities section, as well as the total current charges, which adds in the rent and lease charges for the total amount due. On the back of the bill, they'll find a description of how each charge on the reverse side of the bill is calculated. So we indicate how we're getting those rent charges and how their water, sewer, trash, and pest control charges are calculated in this case. We do have a message center. We will typically include a conservation tip in this area of the bill, but if you have a message that you'd like to get out to all of the residents at your property, we are happy to change this out for a message of your choosing in the message center of the bill. So that's a great way to contact your residents. We also provide a number of reports that might be helpful for you to learn a little bit more about the utility billing and trends at your property. You can get to the utility billing reports by clicking the reports title right here, and that'll take you to the reports page with the billing section already expanded for you. I'm not going to spend much time talking about these individual reports, but I do want to show you an example. The utility billing summary is a listing of all of the charges that we send to your residents each month. So once I select the report that I'd like to view, you can see that there will likely be some parameters that you'll need to select to fine-tune that report. In this case, we just need to indicate which month we want to look at. So I'll make that selection and then click View Report. Take a moment for that data to load, but now we can see each resident listed on the left over here with their monthly utility billing data. So there's a column for each of the line items on the bill and their amounts, so you can see the total on their bill and all of that information. Any of the reports that you pull from this page, you can download them, export them out in a number of formats. You can pull them out in CSV, PDF, or Excel, which would allow you to sort and view that information as you need. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, you can come here and take a look at some of these reports that are available to see if that information might be helpful for you. So that concludes my training today for the utility billing portion of our website. If you have any questions at all or would like to receive additional training, please feel free to contact us. Questions can be answered by your billing or synergy manager, or if you'd like to request a full-blown training session, just click on the training link here and request training and fill out the form, and we'd be glad to schedule a one-on-one training with you. Thanks so much for your time today. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.